Hey, what up? It's Brad with Home Love Construction, and we got going a little early because Paul and I were ready, and we just wanted to go live. Like, we were just ready to do it. So happy you're here, or if you're watching this on a recording, I did a live previously to this earlier today about our event coming up on Tuesday, June 7th at 9 a.m. with Buck Wise, Reagan Weiss, and a buttload of other business owners who are going to learn about creating content for your business. It's free. Go and sign up. The link is like everywhere, all over my pages. So go and find that link and sign up for it. It's going to be massively valuable to you and your business. Now, that said, this live is about something a little different. In this live, I want to talk about the future of the construction industry, what's happening now, and how it's going to change going into the future. So if you're watching this in a recording in the year 2025, leave a comment as to how right I was. I know I'm going to be right, but just to what degree was I right? Because I think you're going to agree with a lot of things I have to say. And the crux of this, the thing that made me think about this is we've started a program at Home Love Construction where we actually franchise our business to other people who want to start a construction business and other people who might already know construction really well, but they don't want to do the licensing and market the business and do the LLC and like do all the blah, blah, blah stuff that goes along with running a business, get an office. Like, you don't necessarily need all of that. We can set you up with a Home Love Construction franchise where you can start selling construction projects and doing construction projects tomorrow. I mean, it probably takes a week to onboard, but literally if you could do all the paperwork in one day, you could be getting leads, going and seeing them and closing them on jobs tomorrow, which is what we empower people to do. You would know how to price things, you would know how to actually go out and talk to people and get them interested in what you're doing. You would know how to not discount your prices, we do teach that. And then you would know how to actually do the job with the systems that we teach you. So if that's interesting to you, I'll post a link underneath this of how to do that. But basically you can also go to a landing page. We have homelove.construction/franchise where you can find out about our franchises. But the point of that is I feel like things like that are the future of the construction industry, because what's happening is the licensing is getting more and more stringent and more difficult. It's getting more challenging every year to have a license, keep it current. If you don't have a license yet, the requirements for getting a license are going up every year, and there's more requirements from different counties and municipalities. There's also a lot more ways to lose your license now than there ever were before. More people are finding out about ways that contractors can get in trouble as far as licensing, and it's actually happening with some people when they mess up on a job, even if it's an honest mistake. So all this is building up to be like, damn, is it even worth it to be a contractor? That's why you don't see a bunch of people flooding into the field of contracting, is because it's not set up as an appealing field right now. In fact, you see the exact opposite. You see people like my good friend Reagan Weiss jumping out of contracting into marketing, which he is brilliant at, and really that's how he grew his contracting business, was through his amazing marketing. If you want to learn about that, again, our event on Thursday, June 7th at 9 a.m. at the Richie Suncoast Theater is the place to learn how Reagan does what he does, because we're gonna have a Q&A with him. But the point is, Reagan jumped out, now he's doing marketing. There's a lot of people who are doing that, who are just like, yo, contracting industry, it's been fun, see you later, peace, like, I'm out of here. And the reason behind that is that there's so much craziness going on in the industry right now. By the way, Apollo, if we have anybody who asks questions, definitely tell me, as long as they're not crazy questions, and I would love to actually answer them. So like, do a little hand raising if we have a good question.
It's not really a question, more of a statement. Ron Smith says, I think you're exactly right in where I see my business transitioning, but not a franchise, more of a partnership deal with multiple locations.
Boom, exactly. Yeah, so Ron is thinking, so Ron's thinking partnership deal with multiple locations. And so the future of this basically is there's going to be a couple people who are willing to do the BS that goes along with actually having a licensed construction company, right? And frankly, it's just a bunch of BS. Like, it's not actually protecting the consumer. The only thing that can protect the consumer is the person that is running the business, requiring a high level of responsibility from their employees and getting everyone on their team in agreement with that and holding it firmly in place. The government cannot protect homeowners from contractors. It doesn't actually work. Like, that doesn't actually happen in reality. Do you want to turn that to do not disturb mode while we're doing this?
Yeah.
So I'm getting a phone call, we're doing it live. Can't have that. So basically, the bottom line here is the contracting industry is changing in such a way that it's harder to be in. It just is. It's getting more challenging. Insurance is expensive. I think we paid, I'll give you a little peek behind the curtain here. At Home Love Construction last year, we paid over $25,000 for our general liability insurance. Like when we get these bills at the end of the year, I'm just like, how are we supposed to make money doing this? I mean, it literally is like getting insane. So speaking of, by the way, if you're having trouble making money in a contracting business, that thing I talked about on June 7th at 9 a.m., that seminar, that will help you to make more money as a contractor, by the way. Even though it's about making content, that will help you to make more money. So come there, it's gonna be super worth your time. That said, where I see the construction industry going is a couple different things. One, I actually see innovation on the methods of doing the construction being very, very slow. It's an industry where the innovators are actually not rewarded. In fact, they are more punished than anything, because what happens is, let's say you take a new product like a new way to waterproof a shower, right? And you go in and you install that, right? And you follow like what you think are the directions, but the directions were just written a year ago. And the directions haven't been tested for 30 years, and we don't know what happens 30 years down the road. So that company comes in and you do the install, and you're like, hey, this is guaranteed for life. I put my name on it, and you want to keep that up, right? But then what happens is, if in 10 years that system fails and now it's not waterproofed, and you sold the company's warranty of this is lifetime, and I'm not like calling out any companies, Schluter Systems has something like this. I'm not saying they sell a bad product. They actually sell an amazing product and we use it all the time. But in theory, you could see how this would be, and this does happen. This happens a lot with siding and things like that. It's where the company says, hey, lifetime warranty, you pass that on to your client, then the company goes out of business all of a sudden, or gets bought and the warranty is no longer valid. Now it's just you, little contractor, who's maybe doing $1 million in a year, has a $100,000 claim, and you're getting freaking whacked and your insurance doubles from 10 to 20 grand the next year because of that insurance claim that you had. So that discourages, like the opposite of encourage, discourages innovation, things like that, because there's so much liability involved with it. So because of that, you see very little, teeny tiny baby steps in innovation, whereas in other industries like tech, you just see, just like we're off into the metaverse already in like 20 years of having the internet. In construction, it's slow because it's such a risky business, and the rewards are so minimal compared to the huge risks. So the other thing that you're going to see in the future of the construction industry is the pricing models are going to change wildly. And I'm going to help to do this. To be honest with you, I'm going to be a major pusher and proponent of this. The 20%, the 10% overhead, 10% profit type thing, that's gone. That doesn't exist anymore. And the fact that that ever existed is a huge danger to the industry as a whole. And that could actually be the thing that makes construction really be in a bad spot over the next 10 years. Because what you're seeing is that the risks for construction are going up, and the pay is not nearly what it is in other industries. So take, for example, maybe like retail, okay? Think of a store like Walmart. If Walmart is selling something for $10, what do you think Walmart paid for that thing that they're now selling for $10? I would guess they maybe paid $3 to maybe $2, maybe $2.50. So think about the fact that they take a $2.50 item and sell it for $10. Now a contractor, if a contractor takes a $10,000 item and sells it for $20,000, that might seem ridiculous, right? Like you might say, what am I paying him that 10 grand for? But Walmart is taking something that's $250. If they had the $10,000 item, they'd be selling it for 40, not 20. So the pricing model is very different, and the risk of Walmart is way low versus the risk of the contractor is way high. So that mismatch is being totally blown out right now. That's why you see a lot of contractors who can quote unquote name their price, right? Like they don't have to worry about what their pricing gets. There's so much demand that people are going out of the industry. Eventually it'll get to the other way, to where there's a really high price and people will come back in. And this is just basic economics and supply and demand, but this is going to happen. The bottom line, contractors are going to raise their prices. So number one, very little innovation, I would predict. And then number two, contractors are going to be raising their prices very quickly. I mean, like very, very quickly. And I'm not just saying inflation, I'm saying the markup on the products, where they used to maybe take something that was $5K, and sell it for 7,500. Now they're going to take it from 5K and sell it for 10 grand. And you're going to see that across the board. The 10 and 10, the 20% thing, it's gone. It doesn't exist. And as a contractor, if you're trying to get away from that, come and talk to us about our franchisee program, because even if you're already a licensed contractor, we can help you to get away. If you're trapped and you feel like you're trapped in that man, I don't know how to ask someone for more than 20% on top of the cost, I just can't make sense of that. I will explain to you how you're already doing the things. Most contractors do a great job. Most contractors I've run into, they do an amazing job. The issue is that they're underpaid, and they wind up getting in a weird, sticky situation because they're underpaid. They wind up doing someone's job with their own money, and they wind up getting in a bad situation and then robbing Peter to pay Paul, and then they just go bankrupt and they're gone. And that really talented person now is gone from the industry. And they're not coming back in. Like, new people aren't just flooding into construction. It's not a sexy industry. So if you want to be a part of flipping that and changing that, come talk to us about being a franchisee for Home Love Construction, because it's a program where people are genuinely coming in and making money in the first month. We've got a guy who went from zero business. He was actually a police officer. He started a franchise, and within 1 month, within his first 2 weeks, he had sent out 200,000 in proposals and closed or gotten verbal commitments on 100,000 of that in 2 weeks. So the first month, 100K. He's on his way to making $1 million this year in revenue. I'm guessing he'll probably profit somewhere in the 6-figure range in his first year of doing contracting without having to go and get his license. So that's what our contracting program allows somebody to come in and do right away. And that's why I think it's the future of contracting, is that there has to be more consolidation in the industry. There's too many scattered people and too many different ways of doing it. It's impossible to even bring a case against a contractor if they really did screw you over, because there's so many weird different things and there's no set industry standard way of doing it. So that's the other thing that I do see changing, is I see more standardization across the industry coming, because otherwise it's just going to continue to be a mess and it's just not going to work out. So that said, if you're interested in doing a Home Love Construction franchise, or if you just want to have a conversation about it and find out what that even means or what it entails, you can go to homeLove.construction/franchise, and we can give you all the information. Just fill out a contact form there, let us know you're interested, and our franchise operations officer is going to actually call you and talk to you about what it entails, and we'll sit down and do an interview about it and find out if you're a good fit for it. That is the other thing, is obviously there's qualifications. We can't just be giving these things away to anybody, because it represents, you get a Home Love Construction brand in order to do that. We are certifying you, saying, yes, this person is up to our standards, and all of our current franchisees far exceed our standards. They are freaking amazing ninjas. So if you have the opportunity to work with one of them as a client, dude, that's amazing. I'm jealous of you, because sometimes I'm like, man, should we just do all franchisees? Because these people are freaking kick ass. So that said, obviously, if you're looking for a project, come and let's do it. But if you're interested in becoming a franchisee and you want to be a part of the future of the construction industry and what we're building here, let me know. By the way, this isn't going to just be construction in the near future. We're going to also be doing this for outdoor living. So if you want to do pavers, if you want to do big landscape designs and stuff like that, you want to sell landscape design and do beautiful outdoors, we're going to be doing that as well. We're also going to be doing things like outdoor kitchens and pergolas and just all that fun stuff. So if you want to get involved in that and you're like, man, I don't want to do the licensing and have to start my own business and do all that paperwork, let's just get you locked in and let's do a Home Love Construction franchise. I'd be more than happy to at least have a conversation with you about it. So go to homelove.construction/franchise. And I do usually get on a call with most of the people who are interested in that to kind of explain what it entails and make sure that we're on the same page about it. So for the last time, if you want to be involved in the future of the construction industry, homelove.construction/franchise. We'll be talking to you very soon. If you've not already, hit the subscribe button on YouTube, hit the like button on Facebook, helps us out a ton. I will see many of you who are watching this on June 7th at 9 a.m. at the Richie Suncoast Theater. Did we have any questions coming? If not, it's okay. Good. Perfect. So June 7th, 9 a.m., Richie Suncoast Theater. I will see you there with me, Buck Wise. You can look him up. He's verified on all the socials. And Reagan Weiss. Pretty cool guy. Talking about content, how to create content that actually sells. Talk to you very soon. See you on Tuesday.